Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 6 of Kickoffs and Tipoffs. I'm your host, Brett Berner. Joining me, my co-host,
Matt Foley, and we had a amazing weekend of college football, possibly the best we've had all year. One of the best that I can remember in the past couple years. We had upsets. We had team Notre Dame, 56 points again. Gotta love it. We had a fun week of college football. What a night slate of games between Alabama, Georgia, and Penn State, Oregon. Just two absolute thrillers. Alabama pulling off the upset in Georgia, and Oregon walking into the whiteout and getting an overtime win. What a week that we had. And Heisman races have changed. At this point, it's who knows, but I think Dante Moore has to be the favorite right now after this. And did we have any firings this week?
Yeah, there was a firing.
Oh, Sam Pittman. Yeah. Notre Dame
did him in, man.
They did Sam Pittman in, but he was doomed from the start of the year. It
wasn't fair.
He'll be an offensive line coach somewhere. Probably next year, maybe this year. Bring him to West Virginia. Let him coach
he'll
the
go
line
somewhere next year as a coordinator, coach, something. But yeah, Sam Pittman gets fired. He loses to Notre Dame 56-13. Of course, Jeremiah Love. I know you're listening because we talked last week about I said that Justice Haynes was playing like the best running back in the country. Because Jeremiah Love, he had been playing all right, but splitting the carries with Price, he hadn't got much going. And then he decided to have, 4 touchdowns?
What was it? I think 19 touches for 122 yards and 4 touchdowns only in the first half.
That's nice. Thanks, Jeremiah, for that.
Yeah.
Notre Dame just completely geezed Oklahoma, or Arkansas is the best way to put it. Sorry, Sam Pittman. I love you. I'll still, be cheering on the Hogs. I'll be wooing my pig suey.
Yeah, I'll be rooting for the Hogs now for the rest of the year.
But Notre Dame goes back up to 500.
Hey,
somewhere.
If they play like this, how they've been playing for the past 2 weeks, I have the utmost confidence that they will be in the playoffs. And also, CJ Carr needs to be in the Heisman talks. Those stuff he has been doing.
He's a freshman.
He's the best freshman quarterback, I think. I think it's pretty obvious right now he's been playing the best. And if they had beaten one of Texas A&M or Miami, he would be the Heisman favorite right now. And he's second in QBR as a freshman.
I want to see if I can find ESPN posted an article. I think it was.
Oh yeah, they did their top quarterbacks.
Yeah, it was the top freshmen or the freshman standouts.
Yeah,
off the season, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean they had the top.
That's the quarterbacks.
They had Fernando Mendoza still as number 1.
I don't know how you
can have Mendoza 1 in quarterbacks, and in that after how they played against Iowa. I thought it was just in my Superdog for TCT, which you can catch from 9 to 12, we'll be live this week.
We will be live.
Live from 7 to 10 this Friday, right up to the BYU West Virginia game. But yeah, I thought Iowa would pull it off, and they did. They were looking at it, and then they let up a 49-yard touchdown.
It was and then wasn't the line rather close on that one?
It was
8.5.
8.5.
It was 8.5. Okay, so it didn't matter that Indiana had the safety.
Yeah.
At the end, I looked at that and I was like, man, that could be a really bad beat for some people.
Nah.
But yeah, Iowa really hung in there. Indiana got scared. I mean, they were definitely scared.
There were a lot of scary moments this week. Georgia Tech overtime against Wake Forest, 30 to 29.
Yeah, 30-29.
What a game. And then Tennessee and Mississippi State. Man, Mississippi State's a pretty good team this year. I don't know how Arizona State is ranked ahead of them. Doesn't make sense to me.
We were talking about this the other night. You texted me. You were like, I genuinely can't tell if Mississippi State is legit. Yeah. And I was like, no, they're legit.
I'm like, I don't know if they're just catching teams they caught Arizona State at a bad in sort of the hangover playoff run and stuff, and it's their first real team. But then they took Tennessee to the wire with this game. And Tennessee's a high-scoring team. They've been putting up points. And Joey Aguilar has just been balling out. But this Mississippi State team is sneaky, sneaky good. Fluff Bothwell is another running back in the SEC that has just been a transfer running back that's been balling. But
what a name.
I know.
Fluff. Give him the fluff.
I can't remember where he came from. I think it was like Southern Miss, I think, or something.
Know.
He was a highly regarded running back. Tell you. But I think the game that everybody's looking forward to for us to talk about from the Friday slate.
I was about to say we're gonna go kind of just run down the list like we normally do, starting with Friday had 3 straight just all one possession games that come down to the wire. First one though, Florida State Virginia. This kid Chandler Morris had a Garrett Green performance in the best way possible.
Yeah.
This was heart and soul by the kid. Final stat line for him, passing-wise, 26 of 35, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions to go with 8 carries for 37 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, what a roller coaster of a game for Virginia fans. I mean, I know so many people who were at this game and Virginia had possibly the quickest field rushing of all time, but it also makes sense because they have the hill. Also,
prayers up to that Florida State receiver. He was alive. Down on the ground, and it was like in the Lion King when Mufasa's sitting down there, and then the stampede comes of the wildebeest, and they just trample him.
Yeah, it was that was like number 4's disappeared. Squirrel White's gone. But
so I think a field storm is going to be banned in the ACC next year.
I think it has to be banned at Virginia because how that stadium is laid out. Because all the students are on the hill.
Yeah, it was immediate.
They're all on the hill. Like there's nothing stopping them, really, from when they rush the field. Like what are the orange shirt guys just gonna stand there with their hands out? Like you're not gonna stop 15,000 students rushing the field. But Virginia ranked now for the first time, and I think it's got to be since like the late 2010s that they've been ranked.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Elliott
has been a staple on Coach's hot seat, and he just beat a top 10 team. I think it was like the 6th time Virginia's ever beat a top 10 team in the history of the program.
Yeah, it was. I think this is like the first ranked win that they've had in a minute. But, I mean, Florida State played a good game, but I was telling you that if they had won this game, that they were going to be this year's Miami of last year, because they were just gonna find a way to pull out these games in the late game. But man, I mean, Tommy Castellanos had a game.
It was up and down.
It was up and down, but at the same time, this is on Florida State. They literally played nobody after that Alabama game, and they got comfortable. Mm-hmm. You can't do that at this day and age in college football. You can't get comfortable with playing these JV teams.
I think it was the defense that definitely let them down. The offense putting up 38, especially on the road in a trap game. Like Castellanos didn't play bad. 18 32, 250, touchdown, 2 picks. He uses legs very efficiently once again. And both quarterbacks played this game banged up.
Yeah.
Chandler Morris had the entire drive where he didn't throw a pass because he was something wrong with his hamstring. But for Florida State, Randy Pittman Jr. did something. He had the trick. A passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown. I was watching that. I thought that was pretty cool.
But trifecta.
Florida State, what did they drop to in the rankings?
18. They only dropped 10 spots.
Okay,
I think it was reasonable.
Not terrible.
One of the only good things that the AP voters actually got right.
The ACC continues. I mean, Virginia's 2-0 in the ACC now.
Yeah.
And
that's right. The NC State game wasn't an ACC game.
Wasn't an ACC game. And if you look ahead, Virginia's schedule, it's not that bad.
You got this week, and then that's basically
you have at Louisville, and then you have Wazoo, which isn't a game, and then you have at UNC, at Cal, Wake, at Duke, and VT. That's not a bad end of the year.
Yeah, no, the ACC's really it feels like all the best teams are stacked against each other, and then some of these middle tier teams somehow staved away with not having any of them. I mean, they had Florida State, which was probably the mainstay on their schedule. But
that's how we thought about Cal. We said Cal, and
then Cal.
They're 1-0, but I mean, they lost San Diego State. We thought they could go in to this Virginia game possibly unbeaten.
Yeah, but Cal. I don't think anybody expected them to do what we were expecting.
I'm never putting my faith in the Bears ever again. After last year, I put all the faith in against Miami when game day came. It was one of the best game days I've ever watched.
It was.
I'll say it anytime that game day is on and it's still dark outside, it's going to be a good game day. Just ask Oregon.
Yeah.
But they let them down then, and then they lost by 30 to San Diego State.
Oh, San Diego State. If only it was basketball season.
So we'll see what happens with Cal. Next game, though, moving into the Big 12, going out to the desert. Arizona State TCU. Matt predicted this one. Sun Devils, 3-point win over Josh Hoover and the Horny Toads.
I mean, Sam Levitt had a game this game. I mean, the whole Arizona State offense just looked how it did last year. Raleek Brown, Jordan Tyson. I mean, Jordan Tyson's continuing to prove why he's
Jordan Tyson had a heck of a game.
One of the best in the country right now. It is likely that he'll be either the first or second receiver off the board. It's going to be between him and Mekhi Lemon, who's also having a phenomenal year. But this Arizona State team just looked like they had some of that playoff magic from last year. Sam Levitt continued to play great. They mounted a huge comeback. They were down by a decent amount, but
they were down
24-14.
17-0.
Yeah, 17-0. But Arizona State just found a way in that Big 12 after dark. They're taking on the Pac-12. The mantra of that, and it's now Big 12 after dark.
But I mean, yeah, Arizona State, everybody was all down on them after Mississippi State, me included. I didn't believe. I thought
I was down too.
Levitt did not look the same as he did last year. A heck of a performance. TCU also just did not play a very good game in this one. Arizona State, everybody putting everybody on notice. We're conference play starting to take shape a little bit.
The Big 12.
Some of these teams undefeated.
Big 12 chaos.
Another Big 12 game. Oregon State and the Beavs almost pulled the shocker over Houston. Yeah. Overtime, once again, 27-24 the final. But Houston won.
Yeah, once again, if you went to bed on Friday night early, you missed out on 3 amazing games.
Yeah, I don't really blame you for this one. This one ended about like 2:15, somewhere in that ballpark. You did miss Malik Murphy.
Connor Wegman. 4-0. 4-0.
I don't believe.
I mean, they haven't
played. Do you believe?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, after the Colorado game, I was sort of like, yeah. I mean, this week will be the huge definition. Texas Tech is going to be where we see if this Houston team is legit. But, I mean, Oregon State, 0-5. This is something. But, I mean, Houston has played good, but they haven't really played anybody to give me a reason to believe.
But, again, I'll say this about Oregon State. This team has every excuse in the book to be bad.
Yeah.
This is a team without a conference, not getting one till next year, which is basically the Pac-12, but it's the Mountain West rebranded.
Yeah.
You have a coach that left 2 years ago to go to Michigan State. Now you have your defensive coordinator that you promoted into the job. He has no leverage with recruits because there's no conference to compete in, no backing by the school. They're like, what does Oregon State, what do they want to do here?
You're basically just waiting for the Pac-12 at this point to come to fruition, and you have something to play for. Because it's also there's also going to be a new incentive with the playoffs, because they're going to be probably considered a G5 team.
Yes, they should be considered G5.
They're going to be considered in the G5 reps, so they're going to have to really market that as they can compete and they can take away the spot.
You could have a playoff team every year.
You could, because Oregon State is definitely, they have the money in general to compete with those G5 teams and really be the front runner.
This is a team, a couple of years ago that you were coming off a win against Oregon that kept them out of the Pac-12 championship and possibly the college football playoff. You brought in DJ Uyunglele before he was washed.
This is what made people believe DJU.
Exactly.
That made you believe in him when he was at Oregon State.
So it's not like this team, is all the hope's not lost. But if they have anything to hang their hat on, they are tied for first in their conference.
They are. Hey, they have the NIL to compete in this day and age. Like, they have the NIL to do this. It's just you're sort of at a crossroads where you don't have a conference. You have nothing to really play for. Your coach is still getting, this guy had never was ever a head coach before. It's one of those where you're just trying to see what can develop with this Oregon State team.
Yeah, we'll move into the Saturday slate, quickly go over some of the big games they have up top. We've already covered some of them. We'll start out, number one team in the country, once again, survives a scare, and the defense for Ohio State continues to prove they're one of the best in the nation.
Yeah.
Go on the road to Seattle, to Washington, a 24-6 win. Again, close all the way. It was 7-3 at halftime.
Yeah.
It really took a Jeremiah Smith break off to get them going in this game.
Yeah.
But this was just another one. Ohio State, they didn't play bad. They didn't play great. They won. Nobody's really going to talk about it. They just see, they won by 18. All right, that's fine.
I mean, nobody's questioning. Like, you can't question them because they're defending champs. They're undefeated. They haven't really played like bad. They just haven't played like, wow, this team looks unbeatable.
Yeah,
like
you've beat Texas 14-7.
But like,
you beat Grambling 70-0, whatever. Ohio hung in there. Again, this is the same thing with Ohio. 37-9 and 24-6 to me doesn't explain how close these games felt.
Yeah.
Definitely for Ohio State fans.
It's weird because the Texas game is sort of aged poorly just because Texas hasn't really looked great. But at the same time, like, we can't knock them for playing like bad when they've stayed undefeated. They've gotten the job done. They just don't have that wow factor to them that makes me think, wow, this team's going to go back to the national championship and they're just going to run through everyone. Like, they don't have that wow factor to me. But they also haven't really played anybody notable since that Texas game. So I think once they get into the teeth of that Big 10 schedule, it'll really tell me what this Ohio State team is built like. I would like to see them start faster. Like, I think that could really catch some teams. Like, if they start slow and they can't catch up, like, we're going to see what this offense can really do. Because I think the defense is arguably the best in the country right now. They've been playing like it.
The defense is next level.
Yeah.
The line continues to improve. They still have a lot of improvement. The secondary has improved by multitudes. You have the best defensive player in college football in Caleb Downs. This secondary with the cornerbacks, which struggled last year, continues to get better week in, week out. I mean, they're still the number one team in the country.
Yeah.
If it were me, I wouldn't have them number one. I would have them number two behind Oregon.
I would have them behind Miami. I would have Miami number one. And then I would be like, but at the same time, I'm not going to argue with somebody who has Ohio State 1 because
no, I'm not
they're
either.
the defending national champs and they're 4-0. And they haven't really given me a reason to knock them down because they've taken care of business in every game. So if you have them 1, I'm not going to argue with you. They have a legit reason to be 1. But I think the 3 best teams in the country right now are Ohio State, Oregon, and Miami right now.
I completely agree with that statement. Next game, we'll move on to the new. You talk about the top 3.
Yeah.
New number 4, Hotty Toddy. Lane Kiffin wins the big one.
Yeah.
We had a lot of coaches trying to prove that they could win the big one this week. Lane Kiffin did it.
Yeah.
At home, 24-19 over number 4 LSU. Now, for the Tigers, Cade Durham hurt, did not end up playing in this game, but Trinidad Chambliss, he is putting the nation on notice right now.
He played very impressively, and like, credit to Lane Kiffin for going out and getting this guy in the portal this year. That's got to be the most impactful portal get this year. But one thing, like, he played great, but Garrett Nussmeier has just played
continues to struggle
awful this year. But it's also like, I don't want to blame him for this game because they had no rushing attack. Like, nope. Ole Miss literally
57 rushing yards total.
Ole Miss knew they rushed 3 every time and they dropped 8 into coverage. Like, at what point do you like?
What do you want them to do?
Yeah, what do you want them to do? Like, but I think this is on LSU and the coaching for not figuring stuff out. Like, you can't, like, I get you're down Caden Durham, but you can't just abandon the run completely like that. Like, there was, like, Harlem Berry was one of the best running back recruits in the country.
I was about to say, this is LSU. You have a 5-star at every single position up and down the roster. If your main guy goes down, you should have 3 others.
Yeah, next man up.
Fill in. Look at Ohio State. If Jeremiah Smith were to go down, Carnell Tate immediately gets talked about as one of the best receivers in the nation.
Yeah. It's this, like, you're in the SEC to where you have to have next man up. Like, this can't be like you lose your best player and then we got to change the whole thing, especially at the running back position, which is arguably the easiest position to replace when it comes to creating that system. Like, there is no reason that LSU shouldn't have stopped running the ball. Like, Ole Miss rushed 3 every time and they were getting home. LSU's offensive line should be ashamed of what they played like on Saturday. Ole Miss was getting home every time with a three-man front. Like, that is poor by LSU. And I know LSU fans are calling for BK's head right now.
Already? You think
after that game, I saw some stuff on Twitter about it. But
what do you think it would take? I'll ask you this. What do you think it would take for Brian Kelly to not be the head man next year?
If they don't make the playoffs.
You think if LSU misses the playoffs?
I genuinely think if they miss the playoffs, I think
he's gone.
I do think so, because I think they have a coordinator in the system in Blake Baker who would slide in there, or they would have Joe Brady come back and take over as head coach. And I think if they don't get it done again, especially if they lose 2 more games, like if they go 10-2 and they miss it because of like another 10-2 team took it over them, I think he'll be fine. But I think if he loses 3 games, I think he's done.
I could see that. If he goes 9-3 and misses, I could see it. Now, on the other side for Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin now.
Yeah.
You're in the driver's seat. You're 3-0 now in SEC play with the wins over Kentucky, Arkansas, and now LSU. You've got at Georgia and at Oklahoma.
And then you're good for the rest.
Back to back. And then, I mean, it's not easy. You end the season, obviously the Egg Bowl, Florida, the Citadel. That game will
South Carolina
be gone.
could also be a struggle. Like if
100% it could.
South Carolina's at the point where like they're not going to be competing for the playoffs anymore, or at least I don't think so, unless they go on a magical 7-game run. But they're going to be playing spoiler to a bunch of teams, and I think this took a lot of the heat off Lane Kiffin, especially with the Florida job probably coming open later in the year when Billy Napier inevitably gets fired. But I think Lane Kiffin's going to be here to stay, and I think he coached a great game. Yeah. I know he was probably losing it when Chambliss went out of bounds on that last drive, though.
Yeah, but I mean, like Lane Kiffin went in there, he talked a lot, obviously, a bunch of storylines going into this game, but this is something Lane Kiffin did back up the talk in this game. This is something, he normally doesn't do. He wins his big game, all credit in the world to him. We already talked about Iowa, Indiana. He took the. I don't think they covered the over.
They didn't. They didn't cover.
I didn't think they did. Oh, here we go. Here's one we talk about.
Oh my gosh.
Illinois USC.
USC.
We were on the train.
We were on the train.
We were chugging along.
We were on the wagon.
And Luke Altmaier and company. Get them in the trap slot.
Yeah. Like this was Illinois' get back game. They were like they can't lose this game after the 53-point blowout. I mean, USC made it close, and it was down to the wire, and then Illinois kicked the game winner with nothing left on the clock. But Altmaier played a great game, and Brett Bielema gets his win back, and suddenly that Indiana 53-point loss looks a little better now that they've taken out probably one of the hottest teams in the country, and a team that a lot of people were backing to maybe make a run in the Big Ten.
Yeah. I mean, I think, once again, the biggest winner from this is Indiana.
Yeah.
They continue to just prove, like, if we're going to continue to beat these teams now. They had the scare against Iowa, but they ended up with the win in the clutch. They delivered. And they just, I mean, this Illinois team, like you said, USC, a lot of people's prediction as a dark horse in the Big Ten this year. A Lincoln Riley offense backed by 2 great running backs and possibly the best quarterback in the country up to this point. I think play-wise.
And I think the best receiver in the country this year in Mekhi Lemon. He's proven to be probably the best, at least statistically wise, like 11 for 151 and 2 touchdowns. It's basically his normal game this year.
Yeah. I think it's still the argument between him and Jordan Tyson.
Yeah.
I think Tyson's a little bit more complete, but again, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you with 1A and 1B at receivers. Other than draft-eligible receivers.
Yeah, draft eligible. That
was great. When Gardner and Brando were going at it, and Brando, I love Tim Brando, but man, he had a shaky game on that Friday night. And then he immediately was like, I think there's some people in Columbus that would disagree with you. Devin Gardner immediately cut him off.
Yeah, Jeremiah Smith's the most talented wide receiver in the country, and he's probably the best in the country. But draft-eligible and statistics-wise, it is Jordan Tyson and Mekhi Lemon this year.
Man, there were a lot of good games.
Pitt blew it.
Pitt blew it. Had a 17-0 lead.
Yep.
And then Louisville storms all the way back. Pitt drops their second game in a row, and then BYU Colorado.
That was a fun game.
This was the late game on Saturday. BYU Bear Bachmeier. They've got the Nears coming into town this week. It could be a trap.
It could be a trap. It could also be whooping.
We won't. If you want to hear more about that, you can go listen to TCT and everything here on U92 The Moose. If you want to hear about the West Virginia Mountaineers, second week in a row, we're not going to spend much time on the Nears.
No,
it's neither here nor there.
There is not much to talk about.
U92's got you covered with all that. If you want to, if you're tickled.
Yeah.
Khalil Wilkins.
Don't tell Cody Burton about that.
He looked good, man. Cody made an edit about him.
He did.
And my favorite part was at the bottom. The scoreboard was 35-0.
Yeah, it was. And then Cam Vaughn made it a tremendous play.
Yeah, Cam Vaughn. Use him. What else? Cal beat Boston College. I think that was it, except for the big game. Navy beat Rice.
Let's go.
Shout out the midshipmen. They continue to roll.
Continue to prove why they're the best team. Memphis.
Yeah,
It's going to come down to Memphis, USF, and Navy.
Marshall, and an absolute shootout with Coach Gibby Walston, double overtime, 54-51.
Hopefully he took the over. 105 points scored that game.
And somehow Marshall couldn't win. But Marshall posted Jack Del Rio Wilson has, was it the highest QBR or highest completion percentage in the nation right now?
I think it was completion percentage.
Shout out, Jack. Way to go. Good for you. And then we'll move in to our gauntlet games. The two biggest ones of the night. We'll start with the SEC Showdown. 24-21, Alabama goes into the hedges and beats Georgia. And my goodness, there were some highlights in this play. Kirby Smart continues to not be able to take down the Tide no matter who is the head man. But Alabama, their leading receiver, 5 catches, 65 yards, a touchdown. Horton played a really good game. You still got Ryan Williams, one of the best receivers ever. But somebody else entered their name into the best receiver in the country.
No, it was considered a run.
It was considered a run?
Yeah, because it was behind the line. I thought it was a pass.
Give him to me at running back. We were talking about it when Richard was talking about the fat package.
Yeah.
And he was looking for someone that he could trust with the ball in their hands.
Get Caden Proctor to West Virginia.
Welcome to Caden Proctor. This man, let's read you off. 6'7", 366 pounds.
And he moves like a tight end. He was moving.
And they motion him out in a screen, and Ty Simpson swings that ball out to him, and Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler absolutely lose their minds.
I was losing my mind.
That poor safety, whoever it was that tried to tackle him, got thrown. Have you guys seen the Derrick Henry stiff arm on Josh Norman?
This was basically it.
Times it by 100.
Yeah.
And that's what Proctor did.
I would not want to tackle Caden Proctor in the open field.
This is what it's all about. When the SEC, they say that it just means more. This is what they're talking about.
I literally texted you and had to call my dad and was like, please tell me I'm not the only one that saw Kellen DeBoer call a screen pass for his offensive lineman who almost took it to the house.
He was in his bag.
He almost scored.
I mean, he barely stepped down. Then he even dove for the pylon.
Let me tell you, if he had scored, that would have broke Twitter. Twitter would have been broken. You want to talk about Sports Center top 10 plays? That's number one.
That would have been it for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
that would have been number one for the entire rest of the year. But main story, just Georgia.
Yeah.
Once again, under the lights at home, cannot take down the Tide. Kirby moves, so I think it's now 1-7 against Alabama.
Like I mean, I don't even want to say they played bad, but they just played slow and not like a Georgia team, if that makes sense.
The issue was the offense just fiddled out in this game. The final score was 24-21. This game became 24-21 with 6:30 left in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And there was no more scoring after that. Georgia took it all the way down the field and then got turned over on downs. They tried to run a pitch play on 4th and goal from the one
with Nate Frazier. I mean, at that point, you have to look at Georgia and you have to look at yourself and be like, all right, we're Georgia. We have some very good offensive linemen. Why are we running a pitch play on 4th and 1? Run it up the gut. Especially how Gunnar Stockton can move too. Give him QB power or a QB draw and let him go.
Something. But I mean, Stockton, he was very contained against this Alabama secondary. Crimson Tide continue to look better and better every week.
Ty Simpson looked great this game.
Ty Simpson. He is back in the limelight. I wish Gabe was here, but Ty Simpson's balling out.
It's scary how much resemblance him and AJ Karen have. It's very scary. And I want to this looked like a Bama team from the 2010s. This looked like one of those Bama teams where they have that we're gonna go out there and we're just gonna beat you. We don't care.
Look at these stats. He has 1,138 yards, 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and an 84.2 QBR, which is 12th in the nation.
Yeah, he played great, and he's definitely within. I'd say he's in my top 5 right now for the Heisman list. I think he's got to be up there. He's been playing great, and he had the doubters at first where they were like, this guy's just gonna be meh. It's another meh Bama quarterback, especially after the Florida State game. But he's just proven people wrong left and right now.
Yeah, the matchup they've got this week against, he's got another feisty quarterback he's going to be going up against.
Oh, yeah.
And Diego Pavia. So that'll be definitely something to watch, but we'll move into our last game before we kind of go over the AP poll and then go into our pick'em segment. Very special guest this week.
Yeah, the host of not the host of Kickoffs and Tipoffs. That's us. The host of Fastballs and Foul Tips, Connor Roberts, will be joining us.
Yeah, it's got good names going on there. We did not. The rumor mill is going out saying we stole Fastballs and Foul Tips mojo. We did not. This was a creation by me and Matt.
Yes.
But going into it, the whiteout.
Oh, big game, James.
The atmosphere at Penn State once again proved to be the best across sports anywhere you look. But Penn State loses the whiteout. Big game, James, falls to 1 and I believe 17 now against these top 10 or whatever, however you want to classify big games.
It's 4-21.
4-21 against top 10.
Yeah, but it's 1-17 in his last 18 games played against him.
That's tough. But I mean, Oregon, to me, proved, in my opinion, that this is the best team in the country.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, Dante Moore continues to impress. Drew Aller continues to get some criticisms from his own fans across the nation.
Rightfully so. But
it's been a little rough. But if you are going to give credit to Penn State, this game was all Oregon leading up to it. The Ducks 17-3 in the fourth quarter. I texted Matt. I was like, immediately, game over.
Yeah.
Penn State does not have in the tank to come back down 17-3.
Nope.
From what I'd watched from Penn State for the past couple years, and especially this night, they had no business. And then Devontae Ross, 35-yard touchdown reception. And then once again, Devontae Ross took them right down the field.
Yeah.
With 30 seconds left, Penn State scored. We go to overtime. And just everything was lining up for Penn State.
They had the momentum. Came
down from 14, had the momentum. They scored first on offense, and Oregon was going into the student section.
Yeah, this had all the momentum in the world towards Penn State. They had everything in the world going for them. They started with the ball in overtime. They're able to score within 3 plays. It looked like Oregon was gassed. It looked like they had no juice left. It looked like they had poured everything into their 14-point lead, and they just took their foot off the gas, and it was just going to be Penn State, and Penn State was going to be able to get their first top 10 ranked win, and it looked like James Franklin might have beaten the curse. But no, Dante Moore, what a game by this guy. Holy. Some of the throws that he made were just left me.
This kid's special.
This kid is special. And some people don't realize he's draft eligible this year, because this is his 3rd year in college football.
Yeah.
Because he originally started at UCLA, then transferred to Oregon to sit behind Dylan Gabriel, and now he is finally getting to start.
It's been an interesting path for Moore.
Yeah.
He was originally committed to Oregon, flipped to go to UCLA, played for a year, and then transferred to Oregon, backed up Gabriel last year, now's the head man for the Ducks, and continues to prove.
Oh, he was originally committed to Notre Dame, and then he committed. Then he he flipped to Oregon. Well, flipped to Oregon, then flipped to UCLA.
A wild ride for him to get there, but I mean, he ended up right where he belonged in Oregon with Dan Lanning, psychopath himself. Probably my favorite coach in college football right now. I mean, it's tough.
One of them.
It's tough not to love him.
It's tough for me because I have my coach, but I love my coach.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I love my coach too, but Lanning's something else.
Lanning is something else. He's an animal, and he's never going to leave Oregon ever. But they just. Oregon took the momentum that Penn State had and just threw it back in their face.
Because Oregon had to crawl back. They had a 7-play drive for the first touchdown in overtime, tied it up, and then a 1-play touchdown strike.
Yeah.
And then Penn State trying to get the same magic, a 1-play interception to end the game.
Yeah. I mean.
And you could hear a pin drop in that stadium.
Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about Oregon coming up big. To have Dan Lanning had the faith to trust his quarterback on 4th and short to just use his legs and take it to essentially get the first down and essentially get them within striking distance to score with Jamari Johnson on that 2-yard pass. And then the very next play, with one play, he had one of the most ridiculous throws that I've ever seen from, I want to say young quarterback, but he's been playing for 3 years. But that sidearm throw was something like Matt Stafford and Patrick Mahomes like. It was a phenomenal throw.
Mahomes-esque.
It honestly was. But Dylan Thielman, the transfer that Oregon had been hyped up, their safety from Purdue, so good, had a huge game all day. comes up huge, and Drew Aller just has another Drew Aller moment.
Just couldn't believe it. Like he played in the clutch the entire end of the game, and like you said, he had the Drew Aller moment.
He had his Drew Aller moment, and I'd even text you.
Matt called how this game was going to end.
I texted you at 10:20 p.m. after they scored the first touchdown to make it 17-10. He's going to blow it when the game's on the line. And what do you know?
And he did.
He threw it into triple coverage.
It was a bad ball.
It was
no way around it. It was just a bad ball. But, yeah, it was rough. But, I mean, Penn State, not out of it for sure. This is still a very good team, still a top 10 team. I mean,
you got two more important games left on the schedule.
Yeah,
Ohio State and Indiana.
You're not out of the race yet by any means necessary in the Big Ten.
You really all you got to do is win one of them if you want to make the playoffs, in my opinion. If you make one of them, because we're at the era of college football where we're probably gonna have maybe one undefeated team left at the end of the year.
Yeah,
like the 10-2s are gonna make it. We'll eventually have the discussion of if there will be a 9-3 team to make it.
Oh, I hope not.
I hope not either,
I hate it. Clemson, we're looking at you. Did not deserve to be there last year.
Yeah.
But moving in, before we go into our pick'em segment, we'll quickly go over the new AP Top 25. There was some pretty big movements throughout the rankings this week.
Awful polling by the AP voters.
Yeah. Ohio State, obviously still at 1. They get 46 of the first place votes. Oregon at 2 gets 16, and Miami is down to 3. They get the 4 first place votes.
That's the rightful top 3. I have the order flipped.
You have Ohio State, Miami, Oregon.
Yeah, I like Miami. I like what they've done. I think they have the best complete resume out of any team. But I'm not mad with how. Like, you could have any 3 of those teams ranked 1, and I would be fine with it. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, if I were ranking them, I would say Oregon, Ohio State, Miami. Would be my top 3.
And I'm not going to complain with any of them.
And then Ole Miss, they jump all the way up from 13 to 4. Coincidentally, who was number 4 slots in right at 13. They dropped LSU. They just kind of flip-flopped them. Yeah. Which, I mean, that's a big drop for LSU, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't got it. The Clemson win doesn't look as pretty as it did, so I'm fine with the drop.
But a 5-point loss on the road.
It's interesting because of how some of the other teams got ranked. I think the top 6 is perfect just within the teams itself. I would have A&M a little higher, but that's just me. But I am also a little biased to them being higher. Oklahoma, they're gonna stay. They're gonna stay in that top 6 until they inevitably, if they lose. Penn State at 7. What's their best win this year?
Penn State.
Is it Villanova or FIU? You tell me.
Or
Nevada.
I'd go Villanova.
You think Villanova? Okay.
No, FIU. So, Pitbull University.
So we're gonna have Penn State in the top 10. With Villanova as their best win, while Indiana beat Illinois by 53, and they're still undefeated. Make it make sense.
No, I would have Penn State over Indiana.
Okay.
I would have Penn State over Texas.
I would have Alabama over Penn State.
I would not. Well,
Alabama's best win's Georgia. Penn State's is.
But again, you talk about roster continuity. You talked about the same argument with Ohio State.
Yeah.
Where you were like, I mean, obviously they beat Texas. Texas win is looking a little bit better, but Ohio State's look shaky in basically every game. And then, you're basing their number 1 off of the roster continuity from last year, which is the exact same thing Penn State has going for them.
Yeah, but then at the same point, we can't have, if we're going to judge based on like that, then Notre Dame should be higher because of what they've done in the past couple games and what's gone on. At this point,
but I would say like these rankings continue to prove in like the current state of college athletics that these head-to-head matchups don't mean as much as they used to. Because I mean, Texas 1 spot above Alabama. Now Alabama's 2 up on Georgia, but you've got teams Tennessee, they're below Georgia. You've got Florida State 6 spots above Virginia. Who else is up here? You have
Illinois. I mean, at some point there needs to be something needs to come out with how these teams are judged. Like, we can't be just guessing and going back and forth based on strength of schedule, strength of roster, or strength of record. Like, something has to come out which determines how we rank these teams, because it's getting to the point where there's too many like what ifs or this thing happened or this thing happened.
But I'll stand on this till I'll take it to the grave. I take the AP poll with the slightest grain of salt.
Oh, yeah.
I really don't care
No.
anything about the AP poll. Whatever. The only thing that matters is when we get into the late weeks of October and we start getting the college football playoffs rankings. This does not matter to me.
Yeah.
Because for example, Ohio State's number 1 in the AP poll. They could say that the entire year. The CFP committee could have Ohio State at 4.
Yeah.
And not, they could say, well, we think Oregon's going to win the Big Ten. Miami's going to win the ACC. Yeah. Ole Miss is going to win the SEC. And then, Texas Tech's going to win the Big 12. So there's our top 4.
No, because remember the conference things it
doesn't matter, but still they could have it like that because of conference. They take conference champions seriously.
Yeah. I mean, we're at the point where it's just like there's too many of these scenarios, and the AP voters just don't watch college football right now because, I mean, how these rankings have been. You're going to tell me Arizona State is ranked ahead of Mississippi State when Mississippi State beat them and has the same record and arguably has a better – and they lost to Tennessee, who's a top 15 team in the country. At some point, there needs to be something that tells us how these teams are ranked.
Exactly. I think that, again, the Arizona State point's a great point, that the fact that Mississippi State is not ranked. I mean, they lost in overtime to the 15th ranked team in the country.
Yeah.
When Arizona State, one loss is to that Mississippi State team.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, you've got to figure it out. But, I mean, you just have, Florida State at 18, Vandy at 16. I get it. They're 5-0. They have some nice wins. Georgia Tech's at 17. I think I'm okay with that one. Mizzou at 19. It's Big 12. 4 teams. Back at it.
They just keep rotating teams in and out.
They're back in.
They're back in.
Bear Bachmeier,
the freshman. What a road that he's had. Commits to BYU and then is just sent into the starting role because of Retzlaff scenario.
At least he's getting through to his brother.
Yeah.
Tiger Bachmeier.
Yeah. I remember.
What a family.
What a family.
You think his sister's name's Cheetah?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be sick. But, I mean, Notre Dame moved up 1. Sure. I mean, they won't move up any higher. They won't move higher until other teams start getting to 2 losses. And
I think Notre Dame is going to be hovering this point, especially until later in the year.
Yeah, then I'll be fine with that.
I don't think unless some crazy stuff happens up here, I don't think Notre Dame cracks the top 15 until November with the 2 losses.
Depends.
It would depend on what happens up here.
They just need a lot to happen, which I think it will happen the way college football has been playing out lately.
Because Notre Dame still controls a big they have some big games still. I mean, you have Boise State this weekend.
Yeah.
You have USC. You have Navy at Pitt at Stanford. I mean, those 2 at the end are very good. But
I mean,
the Qs could be a sneaky one.
Qs would have been sneaky if Angeli was still healthy, but I mean, I'm not worried about Notre Dame not taking care of business the way that they do right now, because right now, their backs are against the wall. There is no room for error. They have to win, and I trust Marcus Freeman is going to have Notre Dame ready to go to war every week. So I have faith in them controlling their own destiny. It's on the other teams that I think that they need help from.
Yeah, and with that, we'll take it into the Pick'em segment. We'll bring in our special guest picker, Connor Roberts, U92 legend, senior,
the host,
good friend, host of Fastballs and Foul Tips, great soccer color commentary.
Hi.
I mean, just one of the best I've ever heard at the station.
Yeah.
There was 6-7 mentioned 2 or 3 times.
Connor's been keeping track of 6-7. Known Pacers diehard fan.
Yes.
It's okay. Tyrese Halliburton is not. Tyrese Halliburton is not here.
The real tortured sports fan.
The season 2 of Starting 5
just released
trailer, and one of the first clips you see is Halliburton rupturing his Achilles. Is not the best way for my day to go, but it happens. I'm him. We move in silence, folks.
Yeah.
We're here.
It's gonna be okay. So
real G's move in silence like lasagna.
Yep. That is true.
This is already going to be great.
I got a taste of
the self-proclaimed Timothy Chalamet.
Yes.
I'm him.
Of our podcast.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what happens. First game we're going to be picking, Connor, I will say, this is an interesting slate. You've got 9 games to pick from. The current leader is Quinn Roby at 5-3.
Boo.
Nico is at 4-2, and Cody is at 4-4.
Yeah, that's what you get, Cody.
I had possibly the best
tortured
week
sports fan
out of
Cody
anybody.
Burton.
Yeah, we'll go over me and Matt's ranking so far. So big flip. I went
wow.
3-6 last week. Matt went 8-1 on the predictions, bringing the totals. Matt is at 18-13, and I'm at the complete opposite at 13-18.
It's like me and Matt in fantasy this year.
Oh, shout out fantasy football.
Shout out fantasy football. shout out the Dynasty League.
Yeah, shout out the Dynasty League. So first game we're going to be picking, send it over to Ann Arbor, big noon kickoff. Dave Portnoy gets to have his first big noon in Michigan. Dave Portnoy has been the topic of some stuff on big noon. The experiment, even as a Michigan fan, I wouldn't mind if this is a one-year experience.
Yeah.
Nothing against El Presidente. If you ever want to be on the show, we'll gladly have you, Dave.
Or if you ever want to sponsor us, like, we'll
Sure,
gladly.
like, I will sign with Barstool in a heartbeat.
We'll
I
sign
agree.
with Barstool.
I agree.
And there you go, Connor. So Wisconsin, Michigan, Wolverines are minus 17.5, coming fresh off the bye. Who's winning this one?
Connor, you can start.
I can start.
You want to start, Connor?
You get the
This
honor.
is going to be an awful game.
Whoa.
This is not going to be a good viewing experience for anybody outside of Michigan, because Michigan's going to destroy Wisconsin. That tends to happen with Wisconsin against Michigan every year. It's sad to see. What even is a Badger, let's be honest? Never seen one in real life. They can't be real. Give me Michigan. I love you, Biff Poggy. Thank you for giving Max Brown a chance.
Shout out, Biff.
Shout out Max Brown.
Sharon Moore is back for this game.
Oh, I forgot he's back. The suspension's up.
Suspension's up.
Is
Till Germany
the
next year.
controversy still there between him and Biff?
What controversy?
For some reason, a big portion of the Michigan fan base wants Biff over Sharon.
Well, Biff kind of, used the offense maybe a little bit more aggressively the past 2 weeks. The offense
True.
looked very good with Bryce's legs, but Biff is like a father figure to Sharon. He's a father figure to this entire program.
Yeah.
So Sharon's back at the helm. Love Sharon. He's the guy. The offense is going to be just fine.
I'm also going to go with Michigan, though. I think Luke Fickell's on his way out. I think he'll be a tremendous DC somewhere next year. But this Wisconsin team is in a rough place. The whole program's in a rough place. So ever since the divisions in the Big Ten split, they really will never get back to probably the championship.
Went downhill. Wisconsin was the kings of the Big Ten West. Not much anymore. Yeah, I'm obviously gonna take Michigan. I'm never gonna not take Michigan on this show. Hopefully, unless it's like the COVID year again.
Yeah.
With Joe Milton at quarterback, the dark times.
Joe Milton's my dog.
Joe Milton is the worst quarterback I've ever seen wear the maize and blue.
He throws the ball hard.
I would rather have
He does
Jalen
throw the
Henderson than
ball
Joe
really
Milton.
hard.
What was it last year?
What
Davis
about Max
Davis
Brown?
Warren.
Davis Warren.
I would take Davis Warren over Joe Milton in a heartbeat. Davis Warren beat Ohio State.
Max Brown reunites with Biff Poggy.
I'm down. Throw him in there. But, for like 2 seconds
Yeah. Oh.
until Max Brown
All right, man.
goes down again. But
Oh, no.
That was really cool, though.
He did
it
hurdle.
was a really cool, and then he got up limping.
It was like Icarus.
He flew too close to the sun.
Connor showed me that earlier this week.
As soon as it happened, I went to Google, searched Icarus quote, screenshotted it, and posted it on Twitter.
Shout out. Max Brown, get better soon.
Yes.
I hope you get better, and I hope you end up at a place that will utilize your strengths.
I agree.
Yeah, nothing but the best. Maybe that's Morgantown.
It's not.
Neither here nor there. Next game, we're going to be going on to Big 12 matchup, Cincinnati, Iowa State. I believe this is big noon.
Cincinnati's favorited?
Cincinnati on the road. Wait, yes, Cincinnati is on the road, I think. Hold on. I need to fact check. They are favored. I know that for a fact.
I can't believe they're favorited.
No, this is at Cincinnati. My apologies. Cincinnati
Okay.
at home versus Iowa State.
Who's their loss to?
Bearcats is minus
Nebraska.
1.5. Yeah, Nebraska.
And
In the
they're
first
fake.
game.
Their losses to Nebraska because they still have turnover issues.
Is it Sorsby still there, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorsby cooked last week against Kansas. He wasn't
Yes.
even the best quarterback in the game. That was still Jalen Daniels.
But
without a
Sorsby
doubt.
played really good.
Sorsby played amazing. But I'd say this is like a Mega Knight taking on a Mini Pekka. Cincinnati's the Mega Knight since they're at home. Iowa State's the Mini Pekka. And as you guys know, the Mini Pekka counters the Mega Knight. Iowa State is going to force a couple of turnovers, and that's all they need to beat Cincy.
Okay.
Well, I'm
Going
going
with
to
the Cyclones, 14th ranked team.
I think I'm going to take the team that's ranked 14th in the country. I mean, what is Cincinnati hasn't really done much.
But Ohio State has had some scary wins.
This
team is obviously 5-0.
But they also
you beat Kansas State by 3 in Dublin. You beat Iowa by 3. You beat Arkansas State by 8. Yeah. And then you beat Arizona handily by 25.
I'm going to take it trusting Matt Campbell and the Cyclones. And they're just going to be able to get it done and prove why they're ranked 14th in the country and one of the better teams in the Big 12. I think that Iowa game is always tough, so I'm not going to judge it like that. And then the Arkansas State game is a little scary, but I'm going to trust the Cyclones to get it done. And I think I agree with Connor that Sorsby will turn the ball over a good amount.
Yeah, I need to make some ground up on that, and Vegas always knows. I'm never going to not side with Vegas. So give me the Bearcats. Pull off the upset at home. They're the favorites. Yeah, give me Cincinnati. Give me Sorsby. Big win. Iowa State. They're still a very good team.
They are.
But I think Rocco Beck has another kind of sluggish performance. He hasn't looked as good. He looked really good last week.
Does he have another year? Does he have another year left after this?
I believe so. I think he's a junior.
Bring him to Morgantown.
Man, I wish.
I don't think Beck will let that happen.
Yeah, I don't think Anthony Beck wants him here. So I'll take Cincinnati. Next game, move on to Battle of the Academies. You've got Air Force, Navy, the midshipmen, minus 11.5. Navy likes to call Air Force the chair force. We're in that recently, so
we're not allowed to say what Air Force calls Navy.
No, we are not.
We are not allowed to.
So, Air Force, Navy. Battle of the troops.
As much as I'd like to say that Navy's going to win, my dad was in the Air Force. Go Falcons. Beat Navy.
Good shot.
Well, I'm going to take the team that I've been backing all year and the team that I believe that will make the college football playoffs. Give me the midshipman. Blake Horvath continues to prove why he is one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and I continue to trust the troops to get it done.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Navy. Me and Matt very high.
I was going to say they're all troops. Never mind.
Shout out Zach Gertz. Shout out the entire Gertz family. Liz, his mom, love you. She's currently battling in a battle with cancer right now. She's actually a West Point grad, and now her son's in Annapolis.
That's
so a little bit of tension there in the family.
Divided.
Go Army, beat Navy.
Go Navy, beat Army.
Navy, beat Army.
Sorry, Liz. But I'm going with the midshipmen. They're not losing. I'm really hoping I get to go to a game in Annapolis this year.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm kind of banking on it. I'm
pretty sure the game this year is at M&T.
I'm excited about the possibility of that. But I'll take the midshipmen in this one. Blake Horvath. I mean, whoever you want it. This offense. Blake Horvath. Eli Hendrick.
Yep.
Jordan Chapman. Alex Tezga. Whoever you want to say. This team's legit. Next game we'll move into... Going back to the SEC, going down to the swamp. Billy Napier, Texas, Florida. In a rather short line, Texas is favored. That's a mistype. Texas, minus 6.5. Below a touchdown favorite in the swamp. Could get a little scary for Sark. Is this the Napier bounce back?
This is the type of game that you would expect Florida to have a fighting chance in. However, man, that Texas defense is lethal. I don't foresee Lagway being able to prevail over Texas and how strong their defense is. Lagway, right now, he's struggling to read a defense at all, and Texas is known for just throwing random stuff out there on the back end. Their safeties are going to have a big day. Corners are going to lock up. I look for Lagway to have a fumble and an interception. Probably no touchdowns. That's just the Lagway way.
It's DJ Lagway format.
This could be the end for the experiment down there in Florida.
Go
Longhorns.
I've been saying it since last week. This is the bounce back game. This is where Billy Napier saves his job.
I thought we said the bounce back game was over last week.
Yeah, but now this is a 3:30 game against a top 10 team in the swamp.
This is the Billy Napier Classic.
This is more of the bounce back game for Florida.
This could save his job.
This will save his job for this year.
You think?
For the rest of the season. Next year, no, but rest of the season, yeah. Until they inevitably go 6-6.
Do you think you think Florida's going to win, but do you think if Florida loses that he could be fired after the game?
Yes.
Yeah, but I also think they might just prolong it and just wait till the season's
Hold out
over.
hope.
Yeah, but this is a classic. This is a classic game where the swamp gets rowdy, and they're just able to take over, and Florida just somehow finds some Gainesville magic.
Just don't throw any shoes.
No shoes.
No shoes. That could be argued as probably the single-handed reason that the Florida program collapsed.
Thank you, Cole Taylor, for your sacrifice.
Was that shoe throw. Shout out Graham Mertz. I'll take Texas. Florida's out of it right now. 1-3. The SEC, their schedule literally doesn't get any easier after this. They continue to play top 10 teams, it feels like, every single week. And I just don't see them turning it around. I'm still very high on Arch. Connor, I don't know if you know this. I'm a big Arch guy. Really like the kid. I think he should come back to college for another year.
Needs to get that arm angle up.
But Texas can still surprise a lot of people this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take the Longhorns. Next game we got, let's see. Oh, Matt's game. Boise State. No Ashton Genty. Man, if this game would have been played last year, me and Matt probably would have had to go. Boise State, Notre Dame. The Irish are favored by 19.5.
Yeah, give me the Irish.
Yeah, but Boise State doesn't stand a chance. Yeah, but they cover.
Are we clearing the board here with Notre Dame?
I mean,
Connor, you think they cover?
I think they cover.
I think
Notre Dame is known for letting their foot off the gas.
Well, not this year.
Yeah,
not in the past 2 games.
Yeah,
I mean,
they didn't.
You guys kind of needed to do that to kind of regain some energy in your program.
I think that's going to be the entire year that we're going to see games like that with Notre Dame. They're going to have to win with style points.
Freeman's upset.
He is. He faked a punt up 42-13,
yeah,
which I love.
That was something.
That's my coach right there. That's my coach for I hope the rest of eternity at Notre Dame. But I just think Notre Dame's at the point where they can't have room for error, and they're just not. They're gonna put up points, and they're gonna try to score 56 every week.
Yeah, quick pick. Irish across the board. Move into Virginia, Louisville. Virginia cracking into the top 24. Top 24. There are 24. Top 25. They go immediately on the road to Louisville and are 6.5-point dogs.
Vegas is never wrong.
Vegas isn't ever wrong, but Virginia does have a top 10 running back in the country, in my opinion. He's so good. He's fast. Get him the ball. Your quarterback's banged up. You're going to have to rely on your run game. The run game hasn't been great, but I think this is the game where they establish the line and get the running back involved. Virginia's able 2 scores. I could see a 2-score blowout here.
Yeah, that's possible. I think it's in the realm.
Virginia, you were ranked for a week, but here's where it comes crashing down. Louisville gets it done. You want to talk about running backs, and you want to talk about top 10. Isaac Brown, one of the best in the country. And I just think Louisville's just going to have their number. It's at Louisville, so I think Louisville gets it done. I do think this will be a very good game, though. Louisville's played some close and tight games, and I think Virginia can hang in there. And I think it'll come down to whoever has the ball last.
Yeah, not so fast, Matt. Connor, I think you had a great pick. Virginia. I think they're riding high right now. I think Vegas is wrong in this one because Chandler Morris played, like I said, a Garrett Green game last week.
Yeah.
Like the pinnacle of a Garrett Green game.
It was beautiful.
5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, no business winning, beating a team they shouldn't have beat. I think his team rides high, but I'm only looking at one man in this game. Miller Moss. That's all you need to know.
Miller Moss experience.
Give me Virginia. By 14, like Connor said, 2
touchdowns.
Scores. I don't know about that, but I'll take Virginia on the road. Next, we'll move into Washington, Maryland, a very slept-on Big Ten matchup. Washington coming off the loss to Ohio State, now on the road. Maryland continues to impress. Nobody's talking about the Terps. They've got one of the best freshman QBs in the country.
Malik Washington.
They look really good.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Maryland. I think this Maryland team is very put together. I really like Malik Washington. If it wasn't for how good CJ Carr has been playing, Malik Washington would definitely be the best freshman quarterback. But I think this Maryland team is very put together. They have had a little bit of a light schedule to start off, but I'm going to trust that Malik Washington gets the win. This is going to be – the time zones are probably going to come into play here. Washington having to travel all the way to the East Coast. I believe this game is, what?
3:30.
3:30 kick, so yeah. But I think this could catch Washington off. It caught USC off last week, coming from that late night slot all the way to an early slot. but I think the Terps get it done.
I agree with you, Matt. I'm going with Maryland. Washington on the East Coast never turns out well. You can look into the stats. They're not good. Just give me the Terps. I hate to say it, but this is going to be an ugly game.
Oh, this is going to be classic Big Ten football. This one could be 13-10.
Yeah.
That's why give me Washington. Give me Jonah Coleman.
You're riding high on the
I'm high on this Washington team right now. Until they play Michigan, they come to the big house, then the Cinderella story ends. But Washington will forever be connected to Michigan as Michael Penix Jr. and that Huskies team in 2023 eventually fell to the Wolverines.
Dog.
The Huskies. That's a pretty dog.
That is a pretty dog.
That dog is not ugly like some dogs in college football.
Rest in peace to Texas A&M's dog mascot.
Rest in peace.
I can't believe they have a dog as a mascot.
They've always had a dog.
I know, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
No,
it looks really weird in
they
college
used to be the
football.
cadets.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So like, you need your pretty little dog there with you.
The dog looks really weird in the college football video game. Do you guys ever notice that? Like,
Well,
it's good graphics. Like the Texas A&M dog looks weird.
Who was it this week that was like with Uga this week? I forget who it was.
Didn't Uga die too?
They've
No.
had like 5 different
Yeah.
Ugas.
They're on like UGA 9.
I know,
Yeah.
but I thought like the latest one recently passed.
Recently, yeah, I think it was last year.
I think it was
Oh, okay.
that last year or the year before, but I remember.
Yeah.
I know what
Hand
you're
up
talking
accountability. Oh, I was thinking of Lewis Hamilton's dog.
Right, you were
Yeah.
thinking of
Yeah.
Roscoe.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Roscoe.
about.
It's been rough for dogs, man.
I
Ben
know.
Herbstreit,
Yeah.
Clay Thompson's dog.
Clay Thompson's dog, man's best friend.
Yeah.
The only thing about dogs, they don't have long enough life.
I
Yep.
agree. That's why the Huskies are going to lose.
Good segue, Connor.
Way to turn it around.
We'll move into our only night game of the week. Big one. I think probably should have been the site of College Game Day. The 7:30 kick on ABC. Miami, Florida State. I think the Noles, this kind of West Virginia, they lose the week before, kind of cost them game day. Still think this was deserving. Number 3 team on the road into Tallahassee.
Yeah, I think the only difference is that Florida State doesn't get a win in the bounce-back game. I think this Miami team is legit. I think this defense is very, very good, and I think they're just going to be able to force a lot of pressure on Tommy C, and I think he's going to turn the ball over a lot this game. I think Ruben Bain has a massive game, and I think Miami's offense is able to grind this game down and come away with a double-digit win.
Yeah, if you want to know how big of a rivalry this is, go on Twitter. There's some beautiful things being posted on both sides. But one thing I have to say, Florida State will never be successful unless their head coach is from West Virginia. Look it up. It's true. They've never been successful without one. Give me Miami.
Oh, Jimbo.
Oh, I love you, Jimbo.
Oh, Jimbo.
Bobby Bowden.
I don't
Jimbo.
love you, Jimbo.
Man, they just can't succeed without a coach from West Virginia.
Sure.
History backs it up.
I mean, Mike Norvell went 13-0 and got cost a spot in the college football
And
playoff
lost
because
by
of an injury.
60.
Because he didn't have his quarterback.
Doesn't matter.
And he should have been in the playoffs.
Doesn't matter. You're supposed to have backups that are ready to go.
That is true. We talked about that a little bit earlier on the show. Florida State. Give me the Noles. I need to make ground up on Matt any way I can. But I do genuinely think Florida State can win this game.
I do too.
I think this is their bounce back. They coming off of the loss. Norvell will have them fired up. If this was in Miami, it was in Hard Rock, I'd say no chance. Because it's in Doak Walker, I'll give the slight edge to Florida State. This one, though, I could easily see overtime. Crowd gets into it. Carson Beck maybe makes a Carson Beck mistake. Florida State gets on top. Could see it happen. I'll go with the Noles. And then our last game we'll pick this week. The site of College Game Day going down to Tuscaloosa for Alabama Vanderbilt. Ty Simpson, Diego Pavia. Pavia, his last year in college football, has the Commodores at 5-0, undefeated, 16th in the nation. Can they shock the world and take down Alabama at home?
No. If Bama would have lost last week, I would have said they definitely have a better chance. I like how Diego Pavia is playing, and I think he's definitely in the Heisman conversation right now. But Vandy has really played not really anybody good. I don't want to say that. I mean, they did go into Virginia Tech, and they did give them a beatdown, and they gave South Carolina a beatdown as well in Columbia. But I just think this Bama team, after last week, is on a different level right now. I think they're playing like the old Bama Ty Simpson's looking very good, and I don't think Kellen DeBoer is going to mess around this game. And especially after how last year's game went, I just think they're going to be ready to get going, and they're going to be taking this Vandy team a lot more serious.
There's a quirked up white boy coming to town this week.
He's ready to go. Indeed. There's two of them.
Yep. He's going to give it his all, and he's going to lose by 2 touchdowns to Alabama. And it's going to be really fun to watch because Vandy's going to put up a fight.
I think this game, I do agree with Connor. I think this game will be fun to watch. I think this will be a great game.
Unfortunately, Vanderbilt, you can't keep up with these big name programs at a school like Vandy. You can get a win every once in a while. Vandy surprisingly owns Auburn, which I found out recently, but you won't be able to keep up with the Alabamas and Georgias of the world.
Oh, Auburn.
Vanderbilt beat Alabama, guys, last year.
Yeah, I know. You can get a win every once in a while.
40-35. I've learned to never not trust Diego Pavia, which is why I think that this game is going to play out exactly like Connor said. I think Pavia has a great game, but I saw Alabama throw a screen pass to their offensive lineman. The Tide have gained my respect, and I am back on the DeBoer train. I'll take Alabama in what you guys said, a very entertaining match, but I think it's eventually roll Tide at the end of the day. Vandy gives it their all. They show the heart. Diego Pavia shows everybody in the nation this kid's something. He could be the next Cam Scatterbo. We'll never know, but that'll wrap it up. Thank you all so much for listening to episode 6 of Kickoffs and Tipoffs.